legend Deion Sanders says he's now cancer-free after surgery for bladder cancer. Doctors discovered the tumor during a routine checkup and performed robotic surgery to remove and rebuild his bladder. He's urging others, especially men, to get screened early. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Going in East LA, 60 eastbound leaving the 710 freeway all the way through the 605 City Terrace, 10 eastbound backing up from City Terrace Drive in stretches all the way ahead to Francisquito Avenue and out of the Arcadia area, the eastbound side of the 210. It's getting kind of crowded from Santa Anita Avenue and stretches towards Azusa. The drive in Orange County, 55 northbound, crowded in Irvine from the 405 to the 22, and on approach to the 91.
Is your concrete cracking? Is your uneven walkway dangerous? Do you need to level that concrete porch or patio?
What up, niece?
Contact Groundworks, the concrete lifting experts. Riverside, get your free inspection today. Learn more at groundworks.com.
Yeah, y'all, come on. Come to
At KBLA Talk 1580, we fight the power every day.
Yeah, gotta give us what we want. Gotta give us what we need. Hey!
I listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. Also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, you know, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back.
What up, yo? Everybody hit that like button. Come on.
So, we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck B. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it! Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power. Fight the power. Fight the power.
Hey, so I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw.
Everybody hit the like button. Come on. 7 people. Get us in the algorithm.
The hope of tomorrow will solve our problems, prevents us seeing the absolute urgency of change. How does one deal with this? The hope that tomorrow will solve our problems prevents us seeing the absolute urgency of change. How does one deal with this? Is that the reason that we don't change? That tomorrow, we hope of it. That the future, tomorrow, next year, and so on, the future, because our minds are conditioned to the future, the question is that the reason why we don't change? Now, if you go
we are going to this question. What do you mean by future? By the future? What is future? Understand my question? And if one is desperately ill, tomorrow has meaning. You understand? Because I may be healed by tomorrow. And so we must ask, what is the sense of future? What is future? You understand my question? What is future? Because we know the past, you understand? And because we live in the past, which is a fact, the opposite movement, that is the past, going through the present, right, modifying itself, moves to that which we call the future, right? Are you following this? First of all, we know or we are aware that we live in the past. Right? We live in the past, don't we? And the past is always modifying itself. Adjusting itself.
My.
Expanding itself, contracting, but it's still the past.
Wow.
Past experience, past knowledge, past understanding, past delight, the pleasure which has become the power.
Can I have some more?
And so on, so on.
Right, come on.
So, the future modified is the past. Right?
Hey, listen, we had to start off with AKA Krishna Hurty. Uncle Hurty out here hurting feelings. He said your future is just the modified past. Why? Why? Let me tell you something about healing. Oh, Lord. See, you can't hustle God. There's a reason you're here. Listen, we got a whole new series, right? The Relationship Hustle Culture series. This is episode 2. Yesterday was about hustling each other with our mask, with our accoutrement, with our success and everything. Let me tell you something. You can't hustle God. So you can spend all your time, if you want, hustling the world and hustling others. But you can't hustle God, and you can't hustle the process, right? I keep telling y'all, the spiritual aspect of relationship supersedes the societal aspect. And yes, the societal aspect is important. But there's a spiritual piece that is designed for your spiritual evolution. A psychologist probably wouldn't say spiritual evolution. They might say your individuation process. Oh, but tonight it's going to get even rougher. Because let me tell you something. Unhealed hearts can only manifest the surface of what it actually desires. Oh, no. Don't do that, Zoe. It can only manifest the surface. It can't manifest the substance of what it desires. It can only manifest the wrapper, the casing, the icing, so to speak. Are y'all ready for tonight's work? How hustle culture impacts our perception on the reality of relationship with ourselves and others. Episode 2. You're not manifesting. You're actually groveling. When you get something from begging, part of what you get is the lack that is inherent in begging. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Exploring the lack consciousness of the hustler. The lack consciousness of the hustler. What? Yes. You hustle because, as we outlined yesterday, hustling is survival mode. And survival mode is lack. And if you want to get psychological, we can go to Abraham Maslow, his defunct theory, right? The hierarchy of needs. The hustle space, right, is on the bottom rung of that pyramid. You're hustling, hand to mouth, you're grinding, you're trying to get it. And then once you get it, because that's your mentality, you're focused on keeping it and maintain. Lord, here we go. The erotic humiliation of hustle culture and the false divinity of deservedness. What if manifestation is not the metaphysics of abundance, but the neurotic theater of unresolved neglect? Oh, yeah. Oh, here we go. 1-800-920-1580. What if the entire language of leveling up, attracting high-value partners, quantum leaping, and raising your vibration is simply the latest marketing strategy for spiritualized self-abandonment? Because if I get something, I don't have to deal with something. Do you see what I'm saying? The getting causes me to go into a space of forgetting. Do you see? Krishnamurti was just saying it. Your future is just a modified past because you haven't really dealt with anything, right? You call it vision, but I might call it vengeance. And not even vengeance against others, but it's really vengeance against the orphaned version of you that you simply and in secret blame for not being lovable enough to be chosen without proving. Oh, I had a whole conversation with a brother in the cigar lounge. And he was talking about how he has to be performative in relationship. Let me tell you something. Love is about presence. It's not about proof. You don't need proof for the truth. You don't need proof for God. You don't need proof for love. But yet, we struggle with that, right? We are not currently in a self-love movement. We are in a mass psychosis of identity marketing. Let me show you. It's a product. We're hustling. Tell the truth. You hustle every day, don't you? To make people believe you, right? You want to come across as believable. Let me tell you something. You can't hustle God. Relationships are about God discovery. You say, wait a minute, Zoe, you said relationships was about the accumulation of self-knowledge. Well, which self am I talking about? The little s ego or the big S? The self that permeates all existence. And don't let no Western scholars lie to you and say it was Plato who was the father of this amorphous, all-encompassing, ubiquitous, infinite God. It wasn't Plato. Hell, Akhenaten was the first to speak on the monotheistic concept of God, and he was talking about God as this fundamental reality underlining all existence. He called it the Aten. What is Akhenaten is what, 5,000 years before Plato? Don't let them say the father of this and the father of that. No, you're the student of this. We have confused intimacy with influence, relationships with reach, and sacred union with strategic alignment. You're a liar, and you've been a liar. The mask you wear tells you you're a liar. Oh, I don't lie. I don't like liars. But here you are walking around with a whole mask. Okay, cool. You say you are manifesting. What are you manifesting if you're still internally in fear? If you haven't reconciled, if you haven't individuated these wounds, these regrets, these fears, huh? What are you manifesting? Are you manifesting more of what is unreconciled? With your sage smoke and morning rituals and routines and trauma-informed hashtags. I see you packaging your inner child in a pixelated clarity and calling it healing. It ain't real. But healing that demands a result is not healing. It is a hostage negotiation. See, real healing, what does the word heal mean? It's a derivative of whole. It's a derivative of whole. This is why Carl Jung said you must individuate, you must become whole. It's not about ousting the darkness, the shadow. It's about pulling it into your light. Right? But healing that demands a result is not healing. It is a hostage negotiation. You are not asking the universe for what you deserve. You are begging to be relieved of the agony of not being enough. Huh? The hustler as AI, an ontology of manufactured worth. The modern spiritual hustler is a self-generating algorithm. You are no longer a human. You are a brand with a heartbeat. You are a product in perpetual beta. Every affirmation, every intention, every tantric certification is not an offering to the divine. It is a transaction with the fear that if you ever stop improving, optimizing, or marketing your value, you will disappear. You can't hustle God. This is not consciousness. This is capitalism wearing Rudraksha beads. Huh? The desire to attract. Love is the desire to manipulate the outcome of vulnerability. The desire to manifest a provider partner is often the grief of a little girl whose father was emotionally bankrupt and spiritually broke. The desire to be chosen by someone high value is often a reenactment of the trauma of being invisible to a mother too collapsed in her own pain to see you when I come forward. If you think I just got started, you'd be wrong.
Relationships. Got you confused? Need some straight talk? This is where you get the unfiltered truth about love, relationships, and everything in between. He breaks down relationship dynamics with no-nonsense wisdom and practical advice that actually works. Tackling the questions you're afraid to ask and giving you the answers you need to hear. You're inside the voice of reason with Phil Williams.
What up? Y'all with me? Are y'all with me? Are y'all with me? Everybody hit the like button, 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 like. Come on, man, it's 50 people in here and only 33 likes. Please get us in the algorithm. It's important, okay? And if you want to join the conversation, please jump in. The number to dial, 1-800-920-1580. The number to dial, 1-800-920-1580. Then get your goofy ass out of here to the core. Ah. Musty fingers is crazy. Exit stage left. Yo, we doing good on the likes. We got 38 likes. There's 42 people in here. Only 4 people. Who musty? That's funny. What up, party people? Let's get a roll call. Where are you guys from? Put your city in here. Hey, and I got new music. I want to know what y'all think. Oh, y'all can't hear on this channel.
So we have to understand this. So you have one part of your brain called the nucleus accumbens. And when we're talking about dopamine, this is the part of our brain that we're talking about. So the nucleus accumbens basically generates motivation for us. And the way that it does that is through using dopamine as a signal. So when we get motivated towards something and we engage in that behavior, we get this triggering of dopamine, which gives us a sense of pleasure and results in behavioral reinforcement. The problem is that you can't really directly control this circuit, because this circuit is what generates your wants and motivations. So you can't kind of motivate yourself to not be motivated by pleasurable things, if that kind of makes sense. It's the part of your brain that generates your motivation. Instead, what we need to do is utilize the other parts of our brain to reduce the power of our nucleus accumbens. So when it comes to a behavioral action, there's the motivational drive from the nucleus accumbens, but then there are all of these other parts of our brain that influence that motivational drive. And this is sort of what I've learned as an addiction psychiatrist. This is kind of our bread and butter, is that we work with people whose nucleus accumbens and dopaminergic circuitry is in full control of their brain. So we have people who will do things like pick up a bottle of beer, let's say, and the moment I get my first sip, even though there are parts of my brain that are screaming at me, put it down, put it down, put it down. You can't control it. You're going to get divorced. You're going to get fired. You're going to get thrown in jail. Your whole brain is screaming at you, but you cannot control it. Because once the nucleus accumbens gets a taste of that alcohol, you lose all control. So let's start with the nucleus accumbens, okay? So the first thing is that our nucleus accumbens has this pile of dopamine in it, and let's just go over a quick overview of kind of what the nucleus accumbens does. So anytime we engage in an action, depending on what the results of that action are, we will get a release of dopamine. And then this dopamine results in pleasure. Now, when we receive pleasure from this action, we're going to go back and we're going to reinforce the action. Once we do this, then this will create a motivation to engage into action again. Okay? So basically,
let me just jump in here, man. Healthy gamer be cooking. Everybody wants the soft life. Everybody wants peace. Everybody wants quiet. Let me tell you something. Pleasure is the spiritual realm's version of fentanyl. See, before you can get to pleasure, you must get to presence. Many of us are broken and wounded, and we're trying to use tools, spiritual tools, to manifest things into our lives, right? Better things, things that'll make us feel better. Well, all those things are going to do, once you manifest them in a superficial way, all those things are going to do is create a codependency or an addiction in you. That's why I say can't hustle God. Everybody who talking this crap, no disrespect to my brother, Paul Pierce, oh, you can't talk about marriage unless you was in it. It's not a marriage unless you're individuated. Because anybody who tried to get married, and I'm just telling you now, if you got a healthy and happy marriage and you've made it through, great, you're lucky, you're one of the few. You're one of the few. What about the others that are surviving in silence? What about the others where it's cheaper to keep them? I'm telling you the spirit aspect of this. You understand? Every relationship is in danger if you're not doing self-work. Do you see? Let me say it again. The desire to manifest a provider partner is often the grief of a little girl whose father was emotionally bankrupt and spiritually broke. The desire to be chosen by someone high value is often a reenactment of the trauma of being invisible to a mother too collapsed in her own pain to see you. You call it ambition, but I call it abandonment with good lighting. You are not growing. You are ghosting the parts of yourself, right? That you never learned to rest without guilt, receive without shame, or exist without marketing. You see? And you've baptized this bypass as self-love, but it's really self-avoidance. Do you understand? There is something erotically addictive about groveling for what should be given freely. It is not simply fear that drives the hustle. It is also arousal. Arousal at the edge of almost being enough. The pleasure of proximity to worth, the intoxicating high of being praised while still never being fully loved. When we come forward, the voice of reason is going to continue to break this so-called wounded manifestation skill down. Let's go.
He's on fire.
Get on the phone, y'all. I only see 2 of my moderators in here. Who else is in here? Moderators, say what's up. I see Attila and I see Nas. Moderators, say what's up. Okay, I see Ida. Do we have other moderators in here? What's going on?
Is your concrete cracking? Is your uneven walkway dangerous? Do you need to level that concrete porch or patio? Contact Groundworks, the concrete lifting experts. Riverside, get your free inspection today. Learn more at groundworks.com.
Have a partner or a project. Nuri Muhammad. What up? Is it Marquette Williams? What up, brother? Oh, they go Truemonger. Yeah, all right. Jack Brazen. The bro, Zoe. What's the science, my brother? What's happening? Again, I'm trying to get y'all to call in. I saw my brother Anthony in here. Anthony Jackson, a.k.a. Tex from Texas. Salute. What up, Bobby? Bobby's night.
Founded in Los Angeles in 1986, the liquidation powerhouse Greenhander has deep roots in the Los Angeles community. Since 2000,
What up?
we've mitigated some of the largest fires on the West Coast. We are proud to
My homeboy Tex was just in here.
represent wildfire victims.
Set up a StreamYard. It would be easier. I hear you. It's a good idea, too. There go my brother. What up, Tex? Yup. Tejas. Hey, that's my childhood homie right there, Tex. Tex, you should call in. Somebody tag Tex the number. Bobby's night, what up? We're talking about the law of attraction as a hustle. Trying to manifest a good partner. Attila, and this is your topic. You gots to call in. You gotta. Keep hitting that like button. What up, Bert? Yes. Phone line should be full. She is such a niece is crazy. Right. That's funny. Is. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh. Get on the phone. Call the show. Right now, bro. Call the show. Right now. That beat be slapping. Rest in hell.
us some time?
How does attachment affect people overworking or being workaholics? I think that especially when you have avoidant attachment, it's really easy to fall into the trap of overly investing in your personal and professional goals over relationships, because probably in your childhood you learned some interesting lessons about how people aren't really that dependable, or even learning lessons like your self-worth is predicated on how well you're doing. You're the star child of the family. Everything is around, what your achievements are. As you grow older, you hold on to those beliefs. You use them to validate yourself. You use it that way to cope when there's too much emotional negativity going on. Instead of just sitting there and processing those feelings or trying to cultivate meaningful relationships that are healing, you use work essentially as an escape from these negative thoughts and feelings. Whenever you don't feel good about yourself, you dig right back into work, and of course that's egosyntonic as well.
Man, and she gave the attachment theory piece, right? The insecure attachment, using work as an escape from processing emotions. But the inverse of that is trying to hustle God, right? What do you mean? How is that the inverse? Let me try to manifest what I desire or what I think I deserve. But one of the main reasons why you don't have what you deserve is because you haven't embraced your broken self. You haven't fully embraced and loved on the truth of who you are. You're probably your biggest judge, your biggest critic. You probably speak more negative self-talk to yourself than anybody else could ever criticize you. So do you see? The clip before is using attachment theory and saying, well, you picked up some coping mechanisms, from an interesting time in your life, and you carried it into adulthood, and now you use that as an escape from intimacy. But many of us invert that and say, God, give me what I need. When God said, hell, you're a piece of me. You have all you need. You've just never gone inward to find that it's not an outward journey to find what you need. It's in you. Oh, well, I need an example. And then we say, well, wait a minute. Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, is on from Monday through Thursday, 7 to 9 p.m. Oops. There's so many. Listen, how did I find it? There are people out there finding it every day. Listen, finding the knowledge is just like winning the lottery. You say, well, wait a minute, I ain't never won it. Well, there's people winning the lottery every day. Somebody's winning it every day. We got callers on the line. I want to get my brother in here. Come on. Tex from Dallas, Texas is in the house. What up, Tex?
What's up, Zeraldo?
Zeraldo is crazy.
I've always called you that. How has everybody been? The family, the people who listen to this man. I have been knowing this man before his kids were even born.
Wow. Yeah.
And I look and I see how News doing, and I'm so proud of everybody, man, on your side of the world. I promise you.
Man, nothing but love coming right back. You already know, man. Come on.
Yeah. For all those who don't know, I have a 6-inch, half-inch scar across my chest from Zoe.
What did I do?
Remember when we played football and you ripped my shirt off and scratched me? I still got that keloid. I tell people, I say, look at this right here. I want you to know somebody real. This is my boy. That's why, hey, man. Scar on my chest. People think I was rough. Like I had a rough life.
No,
homie did that.
the homie did
Yeah,
that playing flag football.
flag football. Hey, man, I was listening to your topic and stuff, and I can honestly say, so 30, 30, 30 years
Yeah.
of driving trucks, and I see myself immersed in it because of the pains that I kept to myself, and I felt that at one point in time, it was when I was younger, I called my dad, and it's like, Tex must need something, Anthony must need something, and I'm just calling the checks. After a while, it got to the point where I just kept to myself, and I've been at it for 30 years doing what I'm doing, man, and I look out this window, and I've driven everywhere except for New York and the city of to send out inspirational innuendos to all of them. I think I sent you one earlier this week.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but yes, I have immersed myself in work to offset the pain.
No, I hear you.
Because I'm still going through the emotional situation with mom, my brother, my dad, and
Wait, hold on, brother. Hold on. Man, first off, I love you, Tex. I love
I
you.
love you too.
Hey,
I've always loved you.
hey,
You've
man.
always been the truest on me.
Oh no, the legendary. We got Lynn Collins. We gotta play. That's Tex's mother. Sang with James Brown. Tex, that's on the phone with us right now. Come on, we listen. We playing the music right now. We Tex and his. Hold on. He said that ain't it. That's not it. We need the the record that who is my guy who sampled your mother? Easy. Rob Bass. Everybody.
If you go on an app called Who Sampled,
yeah,
and you look up my mother's name right now, she is the most sampled black female artist of all time.
She is.
And from everybody can say Rob Bass, you can say Rob Bass, but there's Janet Jackson, there's EPMD, there's
everybody.
Beyonce,
yeah.
You name it. There are commercials on the TV. The dude who won the breakdancing commercial, won the breakdancing in the Olympics, used mom's music, dog. I'm telling you, I follow all of this.
No, and you know what's crazy? This is what Tex does. First off, y'all don't know Tex. He from Texas, but he was kind of raised in Pasadena. His mama lived Altadena that got burnt down. He took us to meet his mom. His mama treated us all like we was Tex. We was all Tex over there, man.
So let me tell everybody this real quick story about you guys. So there we go.
Is that it? That's it? Let's hear it.
Let me hear it.
No, that ain't it. That ain't it. It's legend. It's James Brown. James Brown produced it.
Yeah, Lynn Collins.
Lynn Collins.
So when I met you guys back in 88,
yeah,
y'all had a show at Northridge.
Was I rapping?
With Madcap.
Yeah.
Y'all did with Madcap. And we were all on the stage, and the Rob Bass song came on. The dance floor was packed. We were standing on the stage, and nobody could get down there. When everybody was jamming, and I asked you guys, I said, do y'all like this song? And you said, man, are you crazy? That's Lynn Collins. And I was surprised that you guys knew that. I said, that's my mom. And I don't know if it was you or somebody that looked at me like, shut the hell up. That whatever. So that next day we were going to Magic Mountain. I said, meet me at my house across the street from with what's his name? Anyway,
Anyway.
so y'all came over. You came over to the house, and we were all sitting in the den, and she was in the bedroom, and we were talking about all the females and all the stuff and all that. And I think you said, forget all that. This fool said, Lynn Collins is his mama. Y'all start cracking jokes and laughing at me.
Right.
So I said, okay. I said, hey, Mom, could you come here for a second? She was in the bedroom. She came in there. When y'all seen who she was,
Fell out.
I know half of y'all ran out the back door, half y'all ran out the front door. Fools was out there laying in the grass talking about, dude, I cannot believe that is your mom.
Lynn Collins. Yeah.
Lynn Collins, man.
Hey, don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere, Tex. Okay. When we come forward, we gonna have that record. We gonna get it right. My brother Tex is on the line. We gonna come forward and finish this off. That's it. Think.
Let it rock for like a minute or so. I hear all the samples now. I hear all of them.
Come on. Come on. Tex in the building. Come on. We lit. My brother Tex, man. Come on. Hey, you know I lost my mama too, dog. So you already know, Tex. You already know what it is, bro. You already know, man. You gotta understand, man. Altadena, Pasadena, we kids, man. We grew up together, wildin'. Like he being real calm right now. And hey, Tex, thank you. Cause Tex could be like, man, this dude, when he was young, like Tex could, cause he was there. He saw the maturation and the growth, right? Yeah, man. Brother Tex on the line. I think it's Lynn. Tex, how does your mother spell her name? Now everybody looking up the record, dog. From T.O.Oz to T.O.Z. Oh, hey, Tex was there. We was something else. When I tell you we was something else. Oh, we was something else. And of course, Tex went to legendary John Muir High, played football, linebacker. Oh God, we was literally on the streets, y'all. Oh my God, those were the days. Lyn. He's telling y'all how to spell it. Yep, it says Lyn. There you go. Somebody asked what my Cash App was. It's $ Zoe What Netter. I'd appreciate it. Thank you. And of course, Lloyd Hinton hit the Cash App.
Now, as we continue with spiritual economics, I want to talk about this idea, this illusion of lack, along with also the idea of absolute safety and security versus absolute freedom and creativity. So how secure are you? Think about it. We have the alarm systems at home. We just got a camera system at home because some kids go around and break into cars in our neighborhood. We're trying to see who it is. Insurance. I mean, not only is it law, but don't we all feel better? We have that we're insured, that's taken care of. Having the nest egg, retirement funds, whatever those might be. We have these things that we think puts us in a secure place. When we talk about security, it's about something that protects us, right? We lock our doors at night. It's protection. If we feel secure that we know we have all our needs met, that we have food, that we have housing, that we have heat, that we have light, that we have water, that we have medical care. These are all the things that we look for in security. And do you know who the most secure person is in our world today? The lifetime convict. Think about it. If we're searching for security, what are we going to give up? You cannot have absolute security and absolute freedom. They are two ends of the spectrum.
Oh.
Anybody's hands sweating over that?
My.
So, I think it's a unicorn that we can be absolutely secure and absolutely free. Right? It's like a myth, this unicorn, this magical thing. But there's new ways that we can look at it, different perspectives that we can look at. Think about what absolute security does to our ability to be creative. Creativity, if there had to be anything that was identified as a divine force within us, I think it's creativity. The universe, the God force, whatever name you want to use, expresses itself in being creative in life forms, in change and movement. And whenever we stop ourselves from creating, and you do not have to be a Picasso to create. You create a look by getting dressed in the morning. You create meals for yourself. We are always creating. We may plant a garden. Maybe we do a beautiful painting.
Man, she dropped a bomb. You can't have absolute security and absolute freedom at the same time. And the problem is, for many of us, no matter how much love we think we pulled from our past, there are pieces of our past that are broken, that are still cutting us today. And that part of the pattern we must get free from. Do you see? It's a struggle, right? And I'm telling you, freedom will not be summoned by fear. Right? So long as you're afraid to embrace yourself, to accept yourself, to love yourself, to empathize with yourself, to look at yourself without judgment, to whatever you see, don't criticize. This is you. Accept it. Love it fully. Right? As long as there is a fear to do that, you can't tap into unconditional freedom. Unconditional freedom is the conduit to unconditional love. See, this is why we don't understand a life without conditions. Do you see? I got my brother on the line, but I'm gonna hold him on. I'm gonna hold him over just a little longer because I want him to have space to talk. Because when I tell you this is my brother, when I tell you he watched me transform, right? There was a young kid version of me that was, ratchet, raggedy, wild, all of it, right? But then he saw at a certain point the transformation. Now that transformation is not done. It's a lifelong process. But he saw me transform from what I was into what I am today. And I love my brother, and I know my brother got some pain on him, And we're going to talk about it when we come forward. Me and my brother Tex, we're going to talk some more. Zoe said it was fun to do bad things. Oh, boy, you stupid. LaMilton. LaMilton is crazy. Hey, I was LaMilton for real. LaMilton is nuts. Oh my God. I was just telling my my homeboy this story about my great uncle. Like when we first moved to Altadena, my great uncle lived across the street from my great grandmother. And he was like, "Hey man, I'm finna go over here and paint mama's house." I was like, "All right." He said, you want some money? I'll pay you. You come and help me paint. Now I'm 9, 10. So he got me a little painting outfit, little painter outfit, little painter hat. He was like, "I'm gonna pay you $20 a day, and we gonna paint mama's house." I was like, "All right." So I'm watching what he doing. He got the little automated, like his shit cold. I'm thinking, yep, it's gonna be my turn to do that. This man handed me a scraper. He said, "You see that cracked paint on the side of the wall? I want you to go over there and scrape that shit off." I did that shit for about 5 minutes. The fuck? Next thing you know, Zoe, get up! Get up! I fell asleep. I was asleep for about an hour. He was yelling, he was cussing. "What, you done fell asleep? What the hell?" So he yelling and cussing, but as he's yelling and cussing, I'm taking off the little outfit. He like, "You finna quit?" Who you talking to? I'm all a 10. Who you talking to like that? I'm just, take this little goofy ass. He said, "Oh, I got one better for you." He went in his pocket. He said, "Take this $20 and go home." He never asked me to work with him again. Oh, that shit was hilarious.
I'm pregnant. Trail has been committed. Hit you with a bad touch routine. How does he maintain his hump oxygen? I feel on a pinch of my lip. Why can't you open up, brother? I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you make one move so well?
Went right to sleep.
And accountability.
The voice of reason.
This morning, I'm going to talk to you about a particularly virulent and dangerous form of divine madness, which is called falling in love. Which is, from a practical point of view, one of the most insane things you can do, or that can happen to you. Because in the eyes of a given woman or a given man, an opposite who, though to the eyes of everybody else a perfectly plain and ordinary person, can appear to be God or goddess incarnate, to be such an enchantment that one can say in the words of an old song which probably dates me, "Every little breeze seems to whisper Louise." And this is an extraordinarily disruptive experience, a subversive experience in the conduct of human affairs. Because you never know when it will strike, or for what reason. It's something like contracting a very chronic disease once you get into it. And we try to resolve it sometimes by
making it the basis for marriage, which is an extraordinarily dangerous thing to do. And this is because in Western civilization, we have a tradition of the family which is very curious and which would seem to be the most ridiculous composition of disparate ideas imaginable. When we go back to the origins of Western civilization in the Hebrew and Christian traditions, we find that the idea of marriage and the experience of falling in love are really rather separate things. Because in those earlier times, in agrarian cultures, nobody ever chose their marriage partner. There are certain exceptions to this, that in ancient Greece, you will occasionally find a woman who is called a Parthenos, which has been mistranslated virgin. The correct meaning of Parthenos is a woman who chooses her own husband. And there were very few of them. And in that passage in the book of the prophet Isaiah, where it says, "Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and his name shall be called Emmanuel," that is in Greek, Parthenos. A Parthenos shall conceive. And it therefore has nothing strictly to do with a virgin, although a woman who chooses her own husband might conceivably be a virgin. But by and large, a marriage was an alliance of families. And it was contracted not simply for the purpose of raising children, yes, but also to create a social unit smaller than a village. A village, therefore, being a cluster of families, and these families were rather large. So families allied. The oldsters, the grandpa and grandma, who had an enormous voice in who their children were going to marry, used to, as you know, I suppose this is no news to any of you, used to bicker and use go-betweens, and they considered not only whether this girl was suitable for their son and vice versa, but also what kind of a dowry she would bring, whether it would be advantageous to the two families to form such an alliance. And of course, these things, almost up to quite recent times, were always important in the marital affairs of royal families. But as is notorious, all royal families and kings and queens kept concubines and had outside arrangements when and if they should happen to fall in love. And even if...
Come on, love and marriage are two different things, according to the old ways. And you say, so what does this have to do with the topic? Again, if we are broken in some way, and you hear me talk about this a lot, right? Human beings are whips, works in progress, right? And then you've heard me say it in framed in a psychological framing of, say, attachment theory, right? Where people who have insecure attachment styles have been conditioned to manipulate to get what they didn't get from their partner, right? What they didn't get from their parent, they try to get it from their partner, right? And that's anxious, preoccupied, dismissive, avoidant, fearful, avoidant, which are all, the latter two are combinations, or the latter one is a combination of the previous two. So, again, if we're out here manipulating, right, to get what we want, I'm saying you can't use manifestation from a wounded place. Because trying to use manifestation, right? I'm manifesting a man, I'm manifesting a woman, and you have yet to heal. What you're actually manifesting is another lesson, another opportunity to see what you repress. See, many of us don't want to do the inner work, right? We don't want to do that. We want a partner to come in and supplement that work. And therein lies the problem. Like there's this cult of deservedness. And I keep saying you can't hustle God. This is our hustle series right now, and my brother's on the line. I'm gonna get him back in here. Tex, we found your mother's record, brother, and we played it. And man, I miss your mother, dog. You have no idea. I miss us in Pasadena, homeboy. Like, I miss old Pasadena, old Altadena. I miss it, bro. But talk to me, man, because I know you heavy. Something's on your heart, man.
Hey, I believe what I'm trying to achieve at this point in time in my life at 55 years old is my mother's roses.
She gotta
That's
get her.
what's more important.
Yeah.
The most important to me is her roses. For her to be who she was, and people don't know, I said that back then.
Yeah.
And it's a fight. I've been fighting. There has been some pluses in that. Primary Wave has been very understanding about the situation.
Mm-hmm.
My next step, which I would believe would include you, Joe, and even B, because of the fact that y'all were all brothers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Is in the aspect of my next step is remastering, and I want y'all to be a part of it.
Of course, put those records back out. They're your mother's records. Yeah.
Do they know about you and your A&R and all that stuff back in the day?
My music stuff. Yeah. Everybody know I was a music guy. But wait,
okay.
but Tex, I'm gonna tell you this, man, because it's important for you to hear this, bro. Yes, I want you to take care of Mom. And I got your back. Whatever you need from me, you already know I'm a phone call away. Contacts, whoever you need, whatever. But I'm gonna say this: don't run yourself in the ground. You got to take care of you too. 55 is still young, so it has to be high, bro, on your list of priorities to take care of yourself as well. Because a strong Tex can actually put this on his shoulders and see it to the finish line.
I'm actually working on the balance.
Yes.
I mean, I say that because, hey, it's been 3 years. I've had 5 brain surgeries.
Come on, man.
And I'm still me. And I'm blessed to still be me. I have not lost a step.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have hair receding issues. I'm not going to bring that up, but
we love Texas still crazy.
But yeah, man, I am working on me. I'm working on. I listened to you about this relationship stuff.
Yeah.
Love my wife, who gets on my nerves all the time, but she saved my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I would never take that for advantage.
I love that. I would
never take that for. I will always put that together and make sure that she knows and understands how much I appreciate her for that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I am taking care of myself, because guess what? Since COVID, the food grade out here on the road is horrible.
Mm-hmm.
And if you sitting there eating fast food all the damn time or whatever, you just can't. If people don't pay attention to the people that work fast food, look in the back and see these people back here. This is what you're going to be if you keep eating this stuff.
Right.
That, you got to stop, man. I've learned a lot.
Man, I love you, Tex. I don't think you realize, bro. I love you, man. And like I said, whenever you need me, brother, you call me, man. And hey, I'm riding shotgun like back in the day. All right?
When I cut, he said back in the day, we put in the Monte Carlo or the Audi. Listen, I'm not going to interrupt your show. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate you. I really do, man. And
All right.
when I tune in, I pop in and send you a text every now and let you know I'm here.
Okay.
When I come into town, I'm gonna let you know I'm on my way.
Yes, sir.
And I'm gonna come up there and show my face.
Come on, brother. I appreciate it. My brother Tex from Dallas, Texas is in the house. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. Let me tell you how important that conversation is, man. Brothers, being able to have a safe space to open up and share and grind something internally, right? To talk about something internally is a grind. And it's a rare thing, right? So the brother, he responded. He called in. I'm gonna call in. I'm gonna talk to my brothers out. Listen, I know how difficult that is. That conversation was that we just had. I know it's difficult for him to have that conversation, and I know that little space in his heart for his mother has always been there ever since she left us. So it ain't nothing but love for him. And that's what this platform is about. I want people to be able to understand this is a safe space for real. You know, for anybody that's going through it, man, woman, child, anybody that's going through it. And especially brothers who are going through it, because guess what? We come from our generation right now, the Gen Xers, right? We come from a generation that said, hey, man, you bleeding? Wrap a sock around it and keep going. Like, we come from the generation that you don't have time, or you don't see it as worthy to stop and say, let me process my feelings. Let me process what's going on inside of me. We come from that generation where it was like, hey, man, you can't think about none of that. You got to keep going, which is why I urged him. Yes, doing it for your mother is noble. I got your back. Whatever you need, we going to get it done. But make sure you're taking care of yourself along the way. A lot of us brothers don't do that. And this is what I'm trying to say about tonight's topic. It's a heavy topic. It's in our relationship hustle series. Sometimes we so locked into the hustle, we forget the things that are necessary for us to do to take care of ourselves, to keep ourselves in tip-top shape and or condition. And I'm also saying this too, in terms of healing wounds. Man, like trying to heal or trying to manifest, right, while you have unhealed wounds is like getting behind the wheel of a $8 million Bugatti intoxicated, right? The technology is manifestation. That's a spiritual technology. And yes, you can manifest things, but if you're manifesting from a broken, wounded, unhealed place, you might call in something that could do more harm than good, which is why I said at the beginning of the show, you can't hustle God, meaning the self-work is required before you can do the manifestation work. Do you understand? This is why people don't understand the talk that Abraham Hicks talks about, or Wayne Dyer, or Iyanla Van Zant, when they're talking about getting in alignment frequency and vibrationally with that which you desire. Because that work puts you in the knowledge that what you desire is already within you. Many of us can't see it in us, which energizes the chase for it, the pursuit. Do you see? That's why I'm trying to tell my brothers, this is the safe space. You can call here, you can get in here, and we can talk if you really want to put that work in. And I appreciate my brother for calling in. Listen, when we come forward, we're going back to Dallas, Texas. When we come forward, Texas is back on the board. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me, 1-800-920-1580. Hey, Jashiri, thank you. He who thinks, what up? Jasiri, he hit that Cash App. That's my second Cash App. Listen, oh, Jasiri is a Day Soldier. Day Soldier, what up, man? Thank you. We got 2 Cash Apps. If you are enjoying tonight's show, if this is a good show to you, if you're learning something, picking up something, please, please, please go to my Cash App and support. Thank you, Day Soldier. We appreciate you dearly, brother. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You can't hustle God, nor can you hurry God. So, everybody that's in here, do you guys understand the concept of what we're talking about? All healing happens when you stop growing, learning. Absolute transcendence. I don't know. Snow is something to think about. That's what, yeah. Don't be afraid to support that super chat if you can.
Listening to an older CD a couple years ago, and there was a long discussion on the topic of that Abraham said this, and then someone asked to clarify it, and I still didn't hear the answer. And the question was, or the statement that Abraham made was that the path of least resistance isn't always the easiest. And I've listened to that 3 or 4 times, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around that.
Well, let's talk about it from the perspective that we've been talking about here, because we talked about the path of books that we've written and the discussion points that were at the basis of each of those books. And even recently, as we were talking about this vortex, saying get in the vortex, even wrote a book called Getting into the Vortex. It implies, and we mean it, that there's just one big, really good vortex that you want to get into. But every thought that you think sets things in motion. And so today, while we want you to know that there's this vortex that Source is focused upon that is so dominant, we also want you to acknowledge that there are other vortices that you've set into motion sort of streams, man's negative thought has created a lot of different scenarios that if you get, because of whatever vibrational disc you're choosing in this now powerful point of attraction, if you get on the Omri disc, you're going to be gathering from a vibrational reality that is not the vibrational reality that Source is tending to.
So if you're on the ornery disc, the path of least resistance of orneriness is not going to be easy.
Well, let us finish this thought out, and then maybe that's where you'll end up, but we have something more clarifying to explain to you. So in the same way that we were talking about the vortex, and then later explained that there are a lot of vortices because every thought has set something into motion that will manifest if you get your momentum going toward it. So there was a time when we were talking about the path of least resistance, like we were talking about the vortex, that there is a path toward what you want and who you are. But there are paths toward those other vortices too. In other words, sometimes you get on one of those paths towards something that you do not want, and the tug of war that is within you. In other words, what we are trying to define is the leverage. We almost got to that point in the last conversation. It's a sentence that we want to insert in the beginning of this conversation, that the path of least resistance is created by the momentum of law of attraction. And we want to say that there is such leverage.
And Abraham is cooking right there. Abraham Hicks, Esther Hicks is cooking. She's basically saying you can't be negative. She called it the vortex of orneriness, right? The psychologists might call it rumination, negative self-talk, right? Again, she's saying these thought processes create patterns. The pattern itself can be seen as a type of psychological gravity, right? She's like, once you go down that rabbit hole, it's going to be hard to pull you out of that. Especially if you're trying to get to what Source wants you to have. Again, there has to be a cleanliness, a type of spiritual hygiene, right, with regards to your thought process. Many of us haven't unpacked years and years and years of suppressed stuff. This is where I push back and say, hey, go set up that meeting with a therapist. And I always say, preferably a sister. And I'm talking to black folk right now. Go set up that therapy session with a sister who is a clinical psychologist, and have her walk you through this internal inventory that needs to be unpacked, that needs to be reorganized, recontextualized, and in a psychological and spiritual sense, or a psychological sense, they would say individuation process, right? We're getting into this process of individuating, right? After we get clear on where you are. But the spiritual part of it, it's even bigger. It's even bigger. Now the things that you thought were out of reach, you start to come into vibration, alignment, vibrational alignment. What do I mean by that? Listen, if you don't like yourself, what kind of love are you going to call to yourself? If you don't love yourself. Now people always throw the word around, oh, I love myself. But when you really start peeling it back, right? You start peeling the layers back and you go, wait, hold on. You really don't. This is all a performance. This is why we make the distinction between performance and resonance. You cannot resonate with self if you hate self. When we come forward, the voice of reason is going to Houston, Texas. We're going to keep it cooking. What happened? What did I do, niece? I would take notes, but I'm lazy. Hey, man, we out of control, dog. Good stuff, Zoe. Thank you. Hey, that water crazy. So, if you don't have enough for the class, you can't have it? What does that mean? What are we talking about? What did I miss? Help me understand. I'm staying on point. Hey, man. You know you like Reese's.
Champions rise smack dab at 1221 North La Brea on the corner of Fairview. This ain't a photo shoot, it's a battleground. Certified achievers in the game. Trainers who grind with you, not post pictures beside you. Whether you're chasing your next personal record or just trying to outrun your past, this is your sanctuary of sweat. No mirrors, no filters, no fluff, just pain, passion, and purpose. Stop talking, start training, huff hard, puff loud, be legendary. Where folks go to war with their weaknesses. Huff and puff.
Huff and puff. What is he talking about? That's a commercial, man. Tex, that's a commercial, dog, for a gym out here in Inglewood. He said, what is he talking about? He got the Bojangles music in the background playing. And Tex said, what the hell is that? I don't know why Theo hiding out. You should be hiding out, Theo. You should be all over these topics. The man and his jokes. Oh, I don't know. I didn't even see no jokes. You don't even call daily. You call every now and again when you triggered. And when you call sideways. You be sideways. Man, I went in there. I gave her flowers. I told her she was sweet. Then I told her there was lumps in the cream of wheat. I told her the yolk was runny. I'd be like, Yeah. I'm just joking, dog. Come on now. John Gilbreth is in the house. What up, JG? JG2? Don't flip your truck, bro. Don't do that.
Like, how do we almost manifest things not working out?
So I think, like, really simple examples. If you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, you wake up in a really bad mood, and then you miss your train, and your meeting gets cancelled, and you stub your toe, or whatever it is. We've all had those experiences in those days where we're kind of just operating at this low vibe, we're in a bad mood, and then that's what's happening. But there's also, I think, a deeper level where so much is self-fulfilling prophecies. So if we are constantly operating from this belief system that we aren't worthy, that we aren't enough, that we can't, receive abundance, then we're going to change the way that we interpret and the meaning we attach to everything we experience. So we might have a conversation with someone which is in perspective, someone else's perspective, is just a really normal conversation, but to that person who's got that low self-worth and believes everybody's against them, they might take that conversation totally the wrong way and then sabotage the relationship and then go, see, I told you nobody's here for me, or I told you I couldn't, whatever it is. And so I think in that sense, we are absolutely manifesting negativity into our lives because of how we're perceiving the world through that lens of low self-worth or low self-esteem.
Yeah, no, that's such a great answer.
Man, it's making my point. Manifestation is for the healed. You can't use manifestation to escape. Manifestation, i.e., the law of attraction. Right? I.e., law of attraction. Right? God isn't an influencer. The spiritual psychosis of law of attraction culture. Right? Manifestation culture didn't free you. It gaslit your grief. You were told the universe rewards frequency. But what if that's just metaphysical victim blaming? This subtopic dismantles the influencer industrial complex of spirituality and asks, right? What if divine love isn't scalable? What if your brokenness is holy, even when it's off-brand? Do you see what I'm trying to say? You're always trying to fix it. You're always grinding. And listen, the real fix is in acceptance. That's the real fix. Accepting oneself as they are. That's the fix. But it's so difficult. You've created all these other avenues. Let me get this. Let me get her. Let me get him. Let me pray for this. Let me have that, instead of saying, let me love me. Let me accept me. And in all you're getting, what does it say? What does the word say? In all you're getting. Andy, do you know your Bible, brother? Andy said, a little bit. Gain understanding. Right? The most meaningful understanding you can get is an understanding of yourself. We have a better understanding of what our wounds need than the understanding of ourselves. Ooh, hold on. My worthiness wound needs acknowledgement. Right? My avoidant wound needs space. Or if I have both wounds, I need acknowledgement, I need intimacy, and I need space. Do you see? We know our wounds better than we know our true selves. The reality of who we are transcends what happened to us, what we didn't get in childhood. Yeah, it transcends all of that. Do you see? Get my niece on here. Niece, what up? Attila from Houston, Texas. What happened?
Yelling at the phone.
What did I?
Yelling at the phone, like, yeah. Sorry, I'm just excited because I mean it's just beautiful, beautifully done. First of all, shout out to Tex.
My brother Tex, yes.
Hope you're doing well, fam. Hope everything is okay. Blessings to you, brother. But nonetheless, I wanted to talk about accolades versus intimacy in regards to this topic.
Ooh,
This is my issue with the so-and-so is the prize argument, right? Like, I think I had wrote it in one of the questions that I sent you. Like, when you're talking about the avoidant partner's ambitious workaholic tendencies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, to me, that's mirroring the anxious preoccupied. Like, the avoidant is pursuing their work, but the anxious person is pursuing them. They make them the prize, just like the avoidant makes their work the prize. And ultimately, what are they? They're both after the same thing. What do you think that is?
Are you asking me, or is
it
rhetorical? Okay, I think they're both after intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they're both after
intimacy. To do what though? But like, what would they gain from that ultimately?
Well, from an AP perspective, the AP always wanted to be wanted. Mm-hmm. And then, right? And then from a DA perspective, they knew they were wanted, just in a more, I guess, inconsistent way, which meant, do you really want me? And if you wanting me is the way that it is, I guess, inconsistent, then maybe I could just do it myself. But underneath all of that,
to be worthy, they want to be worthy. I want to be found worthy. That's what they want, right? And you have to think about it. That really is just a definition of a separation from the divine. The divine has already told you you're worthy. If I'm separated from him, her, however you want to see it, the universe, right? Then it makes sense why I'm searching for my worth in other people, externalities, because I don't recognize that it's already here. I need you to validate me, to tell me that I am worthy, because I don't see it. Can you help me? Can you help me find it? Right? And so chasing after the very thing that eludes you is the thing that fuels your uncertainty, that need to know. But the real truth is you already know. You just don't want to acknowledge it because you can't face yourself. So I see all that you say, right?
Yeah, no, wait, because that was such a good question. because it opens up more stuff. Because even in the, I guess, dismissive avoidant, there is this deep sense of being flawed.
Yeah.
So
I would
the
say for the dismissive, even more than anybody else.
yes. So the whole worthiness piece is big. I never really correlated the worthiness piece to the dismissive. But yes, it applies, because normally you apply that worthiness wound piece to the anxious preoccupied, but it's also shared by the dismissive avoidant. That was a great observation. Please continue.
Yes, and so I think that's why the healing that attachment trauma and the worthiness wounds is so important, because without healing that, you're only going to be able to understand and communicate in the words of toxic ambition. Everything that you do is going to be fueled by that, regardless of your attachment style. Either you are toxically ambitious in the form of the matrix thinking, getting the materials, or you're toxically ambitious in the form of getting love, getting accepted, getting that validation. It's the same thing, though. You're just pursuing. It seems on the surface that it is different. And I think the reason why the dismissives get such a bad rap is because of their response to people in their pursuit of that validation. It's very off-putting. It's really easy to defend the person that's like, well, I just want to be loved. I just want to be loved. It's real easy to be like, oh, you poor thing. See, they just want to be loved. This is so horrible. It's real easy to, I'm not making a case, by the way.
No, I hear you. No. Keep going. You're cooking.
I was just saying, it's real easy to wrap your arms around someone who wants to be held versus the person who never has been. So they don't need to be.
Oh, that's my niece.
That's all I gotta say.
Hey, that's my niece. Girl, guess what you just did?
I brought you in the building.
Houston, Texas is on the board. Texas has been on. Hey, Texas run this place right now, and it shouldn't. It shouldn't. We broadcasting live from Leimert Park. You already know it is legendary Africa town. It shouldn't, but Texas is in here big time. Listen, if you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580.
Is it good to you? Or Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams?
Great stuff. Attila, that was dope. John Gilbreth, you are our first and only super chat for tonight's topic. Thank you. John Gilbreezy. Davy Lee is in the building. Anxious, preoccupied, and the cat would actually be a dismissive avoidant. Yes, absolutely. Oh, oui, mon ami, je m'appelle. But keep in mind, Pepe Le Pew is a skunk. And the cat always stumbles into some damn paint and gets a white stripe that makes him think she's a skunk. But she's a cat. So she has a right to get the fuck away.
So what that tells me again, part of your story is when we know that we need to make a change, we make that change internally, and we're on that path. But then sometimes, like in The Godfather, I'm trying to get out, but they keep pulling me back in. Right? So there's gonna be some resistance.
I think the problem is with most of us. So when we want to make a change, we'll make the internal mental change, right? But we don't change the disciplines and habits that got us into predicament in the first place. If you're going to make any type of real change, you're going to have to change the discipline and habits. That's going to change the mindset. It's going to make the actions follow up behind it. Yeah. That's something that I didn't know at the time, and it backfired on me.
So when you got back to Chicago, how did you? Where did the second chance come?
Got back to Chicago, was around my mom, getting some things on, and then I knew I wasn't finished, so I figured out how was I going to get back to where I was at.
Okay.
What happened was you can be out for a year until you apply for Job Corps. I waited that year.
Hey, listen to me now. Stop running to change. Change becomes escape. You can't transform anything about yourself until you accept yourself. Change is the problem. Change is probably the easiest thing you can do. You want to transform. You want to get into a human chrysalis, be broken down to the very last compound, reconstructed into an entirely different being, then emerge. Change is superficial. Transformation is transcendent. You're not manifesting, you're groveling because you don't like where you are. And even deeper, you don't like who you are. I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm saying there's real work to be done. We always want to change the situation, change the scenery, change the relationship, change the person. We refuse to transform. There can be no transformation until there's self-acceptance. I think the most insidious form of avoidance is self-avoidance. You see? So manifestation becomes fantasy, imagination. If it was like this, things would be different. Wait till I get my money right. Do you see what I'm saying? What if the entire architecture of your manifestation practice was simply an elaborate apology for being? What if your vision board isn't a map to your highest self, but a mausoleum for the parts of you capitalism convinced weren't marketable enough to be loved? We do not hustle for love. We hustle because we do not believe we are love. So let me show you. In a cultural economy that collapses being into branding, hustle into holiness, and romantic relationships into ROI, return on investments, we have not been healing. We've been producing our wounds, right? We've been producing them. Modern self-work has become the religion of the lonely. Scripted affirmations offered to a God called scarcity. Wearing the mask of spirituality, but carrying the vibrations of shame. This is not a glow up. This is a slow death in disguise. What we've called leveling up is often emotional bypass in drag. What we've named attraction is often trauma reenactment, right? From the disembodied tenets of the law of attraction to the spiritually bypassed affirmations of the high-value woman, hustle culture doesn't just colonize your calendar, it invades your nervous system. It inserts a commandment into your psyche. Thou shalt not be lovable unless you earn it. But the soul does not negotiate with shame. It retreats. And what remains in it, in its absence, is performance. Again, not presence, not resonance. I'm just here to tell y'all, man, we have too many superficial conversations about relationships, right? In one breath, we'll say, okay, relationships aren't that difficult. In another breath, we'll say, love is a verb. In another breath, we'll say, well, my parents were together for 30 years. In another breath, do you understand? None of that stuff really matters until you go inside, internally. And then you start to find out, this is what I'm made of. Wow. This is how I don't show up for myself. Wow. This is who I learned that from. Wow, wow, wow. And all of these revelations are not to be judged. They're not to be used to condemn yourself. No. They're there to be embraced by you. When you become love, you find it everywhere. It finds you. No matter where you show up, love is there. When you become it. When you become grace, self-grace, self-aware, self-approved, self-acknowledged, right? When you become these things, my goodness, you find it everywhere. It finds you. You can't go anywhere without running into more love, more grace, more acknowledgement, more approval. And it's not coming from a forced, did I do well? Did you see what I did? I'm going to end it the way I started it. You can't hustle God. Listen, I started the conversation. It's up to you to finish it. The VOR. Be back tomorrow with episode 3. Let's get it. Firework. That playlist was crazy. That playlist was dummy. Man. All right, bro. I'm going to holla. Yep. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all.